Every day we come across a reason to gather, collect, run errands, multitask, care, give, love, nurture, design and redesign, clean, organize, call, accessorize, pluck an eyebrow or two, put on makeup, dress up, care again, then go to bed. The life of being a woman. It's such a busy life, more so than a man's life in some sense, I think. I mean, look at what we do on a day-to-day basis. It's fantastic how we're able to maintain our lifestyle, so to speak, by learning from the latest news feed about how to do, make, or create this and that. I mean, we are the master of creation in some way. We create babies. Who can beat that? Well, what I'm basically trying to say is that female spirits embody, whether you're biologically in a female body or male body, it doesn't matter. You're most likely going to do quite a lot of extra things in your life than what a typical male spirit does in a biological male or female body. So, what do I mean by this? Well, female spirits exist in and all around us, whether in body, just like you and I, who are female spirits energetically, and in spirit form, of course, whether it's your grandmother, great-grandmother, aunt, or whoever passed away and went home to the other side. But wait, female spirits also exist in animals to provide maternal love and comfort to their babies as they raise them into independent adults so that they can survive on their own in the wild. But also in nature all around us, whether in the stones you collect or in the trees and plants all around you. Have you sensed maternal comfort when standing next to a tree, as if their arms wrap around you to embrace you and work on your energy to lighten and lift your mood? Or how do you feel when you walk into a room full of plants and feel their energy all around you as you sit next to them and sense the space being wrapped around them or wrapped around by their energy, which gives off a maternal-like state? This is perhaps why many who have taken ayahuasca often feel a sense of mother's love in and all around them when they experience the effects on them, especially when they go out into the jungle or heavily forested areas. Many have stated it's as if the plants and trees overtake them and they feel wrapped up in their embrace, feeling so much love and nurture from them. But that's for another video. I've actually tried it myself a few times in some years ago with the Spanish shaman who was taught the ritual from a very well-known shaman himself in Peru, Iquitos, which is considered a common birthplace by many of the ritual itself, but we'll discuss that for another time. Well, anyway, as I mentioned before, feminine energy or frequency is all around us, whether in nature, spirits, or in physical bodies or animals. We live in it, we bathe in it, and we are surrounded by it in our day-to-day life. It's a necessary part of our being or existence. Now, what would you do if your mother wasn't there to soothe your cuts, bruises, or burns? Or if she wasn't around to hug you when you cried or felt sad, or give you an embrace when you passed an exam or got good marks, or read you a bedtime story at night? You see, all of these activities which are part of our cultural norms are important in a child's life. They show the importance of a female nurturing type of role in our daily life. What role would you like to play in your life? The reason I ask this is because if you lean towards a male role, like most men and some women, then it's highly likely you are a male spirit in the body you are in. But if you have maternal-like frequencies that are a major part of you, then you are most likely a female spirit in a physical body, I find. Now, of course, feminine energy I'm referring to doesn't mean a prissy, delicate, weak, need to be taken care of by a super manly man type person. There are many ranges in the size, depth, and meaning of feminine energy, just as there are masculine energy. Not all females are the same, and not all males are the same. But that's the beauty of diversity. We're all different. Well, now getting back to female or feminine energy, but from now I'll call it feminine energy simply because it's feminine when we are referring to its energy or frequencies. Female referring to the body, physical body. Now, when it comes to feminine energy or frequency, this is what I see. I see mature-like frequencies, which refers to maturity or wisdom. Wisdom collected from generations of knowledge gathered through time, whether in or out of body. I also see their maturity level in the sense that some are younger or older than others. You can see that or sense that when feeling into a person's energy. Now, another thing I see is whether they have some masculine frequencies too, because not all are completely feminine. Perhaps they have some residues of masculine frequencies. Well, what do I mean by this? Well, it's possible that the female I'm talking to has some masculine energy or frequencies in them. Sometimes we feel that in a person as we're talking to them or getting to know them or feeling into someone. We feel something within them that gives us a sense of masculine energy, as if they're not completely feminine, but not masculine either. Perhaps you feel both, but perhaps one more so than the other. You see, not all spirits are uniform. We're all different on the other side as we are in physical bodies. In a body, some may not appear to be uniform either. Perhaps an individual in a male body appears to be 50 to 60% feminine and the rest masculine. You see how this may cause confusion in an individual living in a body that doesn't seem to match up with how they feel? Not their fault, is it, when you look at it that way? Well, what do I mean when I mention residue left behind by masculine energy frequencies? Well, what I mean by that is that not all who are female spirits in body are 100% feminine energy. There are some who have a higher percentage than others, some who are left with some masculine energy. There are some who are plastered with masculine energy to learn about something as they are in body. The term residue implying that it's not sentient. Now, I feel that they are more like just attached to them to give them a more masculine-like feeling or sensation that soon wears off as time goes on. Perhaps it stays on them for 1 or 2 years, or for their whole lifetime while in body. However, as soon as it wears off, they become more like themselves while in body. At least that's what my take is on that. As time goes on, they become more and more feminine and less masculine in a sense of showing any masculine traits. But only for those who are to experience this phase for a limited time. For some, they may never experience it at all, or may not remember experiencing it because they were too young. But perhaps their parents probably remember a time when they were playing or behaving in a particular way that they may have made that may have made them wonder for just a moment, but basically it was just a phase. But for others, this may be longer lasting in such a way that they grow up with it for many, many years, even into their adulthood, and may simply wear off come the parenting phase in their life to play the maternal role. So it's different for everyone. As I explained earlier, there are individuals out there who are, mixed up or confused about who they are sexually, such as, am I a girl, am I a boy, am I both, more girl than boy, or vice versa? Am I pansexual, where I'm attracted to people not based on their gender, or do I like any gender at all? Who am I? What am I? What can I do in my life to be happy? How do I fit into this world? What should I do to change myself, or should I change myself? What if people don't accept me for who I am? Should I change myself for the comfort of others or for myself? Many questions go on and on in the minds of those who are confused about who they are in this sense. It saddens me in a way that we are already burdened by how society wants us to be, and then being loaded down on top of that with confusion of who we are inside in regards to gender. It's just too much. It's difficult to detangle with so much pressure coming from all sides. But perhaps we can put our mind in a different perspective. What if we think about it from a more spiritual level? What if we see it from the inside, so to speak, rather than the outside in regards to physical body, body we are put in and what society demands of us? What if we look at it from the outside perspective in the sense that we look at each other as individuals and for a moment not as a collective unit? What I mean by that is that what if we simply accept each other as we are and not define each other based on the collective, based on what the collective society wants us to define each other as. Perhaps it's a good time to take a moment to simply talk to each other and see how each individual feels on the matter of sex or gender, and see what their opinions or feelings are on the topic. Because it's not until then that we understand where they are coming from on the basis of what they're feeling inside themselves. One person, not even a group, can define or clearly identify what each individual feels when experiencing this in their life. I mean, look, we as individuals, if taking the time, and for some, you may feel it in an instant, that there's something different, that there was this term growing up that I used to hear, gaydar, a term used to express that, express one's ability of sensing whether a person is gay, lesbian, bisexual, and in essence, what their sexual orientation is. I don't think it continues to be used nowadays, but the term came about because people felt it. I myself can readily pick up feminine frequencies or energy from not only females, but males too. The energy is potent, and my own energy vibes with those frequencies. I know and can feel maternal-like frequencies in males who carry it, and in females. It's there. And that's creation. It's about diversity. Therefore, diversifying our way of thinking is essential to reduce suffering put upon others. Understanding is key, and with that understanding, you gain wisdom. Now, as for feminine qualities, I find them to carry nurture-like frequencies along with freedom of expression, or another word that comes to mind related to that is flair, with a touch of feminine-like traits. Okay, so let's get into that. Nurture-like frequencies to me simply means nurturing, whether that's nurturing the sick, the helpless, the hurt, and so on. I also see it as taking care of babies and children, raising animals, and so on. I also see it as feeding the body nutrients, whether that's imposed on themselves or others. We have the tendency to make sure others are well fed and healthy. It also means that without this trait, others may feel dead inside. And what do I mean by this? Well, others who may receive our treatment without the feeling or intention of nurturing, well, they may feel empty inside. They don't feel you care for them. They feel abandoned. They feel scared in some cases because there's no one there showing them that they care for them. Therefore, they feel empty, alone, and scared that they're going to go through life that way. You see, nurturing is a powerful frequency. Yes, your actions can be mechanical without intentions, but we as humans and animals can feel that, and we are left starved. So those who have a strong attachment to nurturing someone, it's not only because it's part of you, it's a knowing inside that without that in the world, a person suffers through life without it. Now, no one wants to see that. Now, another powerful feminine trait is nursing. Why nursing, you may ask? You just mentioned nurturing, which is essentially one and the same, but it's not exactly. You see, nurturing is what I explained briefly, but nursing is something altogether different in the way that nursing allows us to attach ourselves physically to another person, such as nursing a child or nursing someone to health. Physical body is necessary to to nurse someone in either case. The lockdown in many countries has taught us that. Some family members were separated from each other due to the lockdown, which in some cases caused death due to depression, drug and alcohol abuse, due to loneliness, lack of nursing from another who could have helped them recover just by being there physically. There are many reasons for these deaths, but it all comes down to someone not being there to be able to nurse them in some way. Our physical body needs each other for many different reasons. But one thing for sure, they're not meant to be alone. And even still, for those who isolate themselves in the woods, they still want a partner to be with them. It's just the way we are as humans, as human beings, due to who we are inside these bodies. We always want someone to be there, whether it's an individual or an animal. Plants and trees can cushion the feeling of pain or loneliness, but deep down inside, we still want to maintain some connection with other humans. Someone to talk to and spend time with. It's innate in all of us. Well, moving on to another feminine trait, love. Now, I'm not saying this doesn't exist in masculine energy, no, not at all. I'm just saying there's something different about it when referring to the feminine trait. So there are all kinds of love, in the sense that there's love for your family members, love for your friends, love for your work associates, love for your job, love for the universe, love for your pets, love for the ones you're in a romantic relationship with, love for specific individuals who you may have grown up with and ones you've just met, love for your neighbor, love for the town, city or country you're from or live in. You see all kinds of different forms of love. But what I'm referring to in regards to the feminine quality or trait is that this kind of love is more a maternal-like state. There's much compassion involved and a motherly type feeling to it. I use the term motherly to show there's a difference between that and fatherly, which I'll go into when I make a video about the masculine energy frequencies and what I see from them. But anyway, the maternal-like state is essential in human development. It's a way for a child from the beginning stages of life to know that there is a maternal-like energy frequency enveloped around them for protection. This protection, or feeling that protection, is essential for them to know and feel, because their brain develops at a rapid rate with that sense of security. It's important. It's important while in the womb. And this is why it's important for mothers to stay calm during pregnancy. The baby in the womb is highly sensitive to energy frequencies. And emotions are energetic frequencies given off by the reaction we show when triggered. So the baby can automatically sense danger when someone is around before the mother can react. The baby picks up what the mother senses around her, and before the mother even reacts, the baby knows. Now, of course, in those situations, it's important to react, but I'm just giving an example of what goes on in the mother's womb while the baby is sensing or picking up energy frequencies around them. So it's essential for the mother to stay calm, and for the family members, especially the father, to maintain that calmness, to give reassurance to the baby that everything's all right and it's all under control. Now, another thing about maternal-like frequencies is that it is essential not only to human beings, but also to animals, plants, and trees. Maternal frequencies are like love, and that it gives them the encouragement to grow and feel protected, that the environment around them is a protective place for them to be in and grow naturally. So if you have a garden and you're in or outside your home, give them some love, and they'll give you much more in return. They provide you not only with their beauty, of course, but also high frequency like vibrations that ripples through the air, which basically cleanse your home and garden and also lighten your mood and provide you with calmness throughout the day. As for animals, they need human compassion in this world, and we all know that based on the awful conditions we've seen them in. So show them some love their way, a lot of love. Now, as for maternal-like frequencies, we're often troubled by the fact that they're not only given off by female individuals, let's say, but also male individuals. Not all females carry them. Some lack those frequencies or traits, and it's not their fault. They're just made that way. How do you display a trait that you don't have or truly understand? You may be able to empathize with those traits, but it's not until you yourself carry them that you can truly understand what they are. So why do we find it troubling when they lack in certain female individuals and appear in some male individuals? Well, because some consider it unnatural. But what is unnatural really? How would you define it as? Well, I would define it as something that doesn't belong or should not exist. You may define it as a deformity or something evil. Whatever we define it as, it's not fair to consider such an idea in a world of diversity and uniqueness. We're all different in many different ways. So to judge an individual based on their skin color, gender, sexual orientation and such would not only be detrimental to others, but ourselves too, because then we're limiting our idea of existence. There are many people out there who are suffering due to societal norms, and continuing this way is harming our way of thought and existence for others. Well, now moving on to maternal instincts. What are they? Well, maternal instincts are recognized as something innate in all mothers. Well, that is certainly true for most mothers out there. That's not true for some. Why is that? Well, they may not carry those innate abilities to sense what to do next, like when a child has a cold or flu, or what to do when a baby has a diaper rash. Not all mothers have a natural instinct for what to do next. What does that mean? Well, does that mean that they are bad mothers with no common sense in a way? No, of course not. It just means that the natural ability of knowing what to do next with a newborn child is not in them. That's all. No judgment towards them is necessary. What you have is what you have. What you don't have is what you don't have. Why judge a person based on what they don't have? Now, maternal instincts, as I said before, tend to be in many mothers around the world. But what of men? Do we see them in male individuals? Well, yes, from what I can see, some males carry this trait in their energy, being, or self, and display it in such a way that may surprise some individuals. It's as if they naturally know what to do in situations that come in regards to rearing a child. But what of those who don't know what to do? Perhaps awkwardly hold a baby as if not knowing what to do next. Well, it's not natural to them is all. No judgment needed there. They're just doing the best that they can and as careful as they can, which in some way is the reason for the awkwardness while holding a baby. You see, we're all different, doing things differently for different reasons. Nothing more than that, really. But it is funny observing someone who awkwardly looks at a baby and not know what to do. So, but anyways, maternal energy is reflected in many different ways. Whether it's your behavior towards raising a child, caring for animals, watching over your friends and family or neighbors as a hen watches over her chicks, or simply making some making sure everyone at the table had enough to eat. You see, maternal-like state is needed in every society, small and large, for the fact that every single person needs to be looked after. Everyone in existence needs to know that they are cared for and feel acknowledged by someone. If that's the case, then many will succeed in life knowing they are in some way protected and cared for. Well, that's all I have for now in regards to feminine energy, or what some would call the divine feminine, as I've read. I hope you liked the information I shared today, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. It'll help our channel grow in the meantime. Please share your thoughts on what feminine energy means to you. I'd like to hear your thoughts on the matter. We all have our own perspective, and it's nice to have a healthy conversation on the matter, because all opinions matter is what I'm trying to say. And if you like this, and in topics like this related to metaphysical concepts in some ways, please subscribe to our channel for our latest videos. Perhaps they can bring a meaningful conversation to the dinner table. Well, I hope you all have a beautiful day or evening wherever you are, and I thank you very much for stopping by. We appreciate your support very much. Be happy and be kind to yourself and others. Treat yourself to a nice long hug with someone you care about. The exchange of energy there that takes place will last you the day, perhaps. Our energy is always communicating with each other, and a hug is a sign of embracing someone with love, compassion, nurture, and so many other positive frequencies. So embrace each other and enjoy the moment while you're at it. Bye everyone. Take care.